Hi,
I'm Sarah,
and I'm Matt, and this is Snowy.
and these are our travels in Scandinavia.
Heading further north now, within the Arctic Circle, and the four-legged locals seem to take it unto themselves to wander around the road, whereas the two-legged locals swerve around them. We're still in Finland at the moment, making our way up to the Norwegian border and being held up slightly by a herd of reindeer, minding their own business. Oops, daisy. Look, there goes another two-legged local. The Norwegian border. We called into the Norwegian border offices with Snowy and her pet passport to report in, but he gave it a look over and waved us on. Not sure whether we could have got away without it, but we did the right thing anyway. Treriksrøya is the point where Russia, Finland and Norway all join, and we were able to walk to it. That lookout tower is the Norwegian army, and they had spotted us making our way to the three countries point across some very damp, on occasion, walkways. They soon overtook us and met us at Treriksrøya, the three countries point, where they gave us a guided tour, telling us where we could and couldn't go. Basically, don't go over to the Russian side. For the Millennium celebrations, they celebrated there 3 times. First Norway, then an hour later Finland, and then a further hour later was Russia's turn. They also helped us to take photographs of us. We signed some books to say that we had been, and then we made our way back, slowly back along the walkways and back to the van. We left the trees behind now, in the Norwegian Arctic tundra. We found some lovely places to park up for the night, before making our way to Vardø. It's the furthest point east in Norway, and an island. To get onto the island, there isn't a ferry or a bridge, it's a tunnel under the sea. Vardø is an interesting place. It's barren and desolate, and it still has a listening tower or a watchtower on the hill behind us, where presumably it's looking at Russia over the Barents Sea. These couple of wooden characters keeping their eye over the Barents Sea and watching the ferries coming and going. We took a walk around the town. They have an interesting church, and we were also delighted with our sunset. the Stilneset Memorial to the witches burnt in Finnmark, which is this area of Norway. Similar to the Salem witch trials in America. This long structure is where the names are all stored for the witches. You open the door and we come in. Oh wow, a great big long corridor. On either side we have the names of all of the witches.
Well, they weren't witches.
Well, alleged witches that were executed. Yeah. Look at that.
I think there's one light for every lady.
Yeah, and a window. A window and a light for every person. From the furthest point east, we then only had one way to go. So we roughly followed the north coast of Norway and the Barents Sea westward. We found some glorious park-ups, isolated and secluded, right on the coast. We bumped into Borselv Wood, allegedly the most northerly pine trees in the world, and also home to the Silfar Canyon, a lovely little canyon cutting its way through the limestone with some lovely green, clear water. We never had any trouble finding places to stay for the night. As with this one, on the shores of another fjord, with more glorious views, and again all to ourselves. The road eventually turned north on its way to Nordkapp.
We parked overnight on the car park at the start of the hike to Nivskelodden, the most northerly point on European mainland. Nivskelodden is west of Nordkapp and it's only accessible by foot. It's quite a rugged landscape, but the path is very well marked with cairns. Although the board said that it was an 8-kilometre walk, by the time we'd finished, our watches had recorded a total distance of 21 kilometres. As you can see on the map, it's quite a straightforward path. Most of it across heathland and then the last 1.5 kilometres on rocks. There was loads of wildlife, plenty of reindeer to see, and Snow was in her element. There's no way we could have let her off the lead though. She'd have been after them like a shot.
We found a box at the end with a pad for signing, which is customary in these types of places. Nordkap. You can see where we were yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the furthest point north that we have to walk to.
I didn't realise when we walked from the beach how far it was along those slabs.
The famous globe. I went into the visitor centre at an extortionate price to get a sticker. It seems daft that you have to pay to go into the visitor centre, to go into the shop. It snowed in the night, sugarcoating the mountains and changing the view out of the windows. As our journey continues to Hammerfest and the Lofoten Islands, in part 3 of our Scandinavian road trip.